The DJ Bagpuss Show, which is episode 5, and we are going to be talking about my love for video games. Let's play a video game. And in part 1 of today's video, I introduced the episode. Part 2 of today's video, I talked about my love for video games and talking about, the journey I've taken on video games. And in part 4 of today's video, we're going to be having a very special Q&A with the DJ, but I'm going to have a surprise for you guys, so stay tuned for that. And hope you're enjoying this episode. If you are, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DJ Bagpuss 1998. Get involved with the series at DJ Bagpuss Show, capital D, capital B, capital S, that is the hashtag. And also Bagpuss Uncut, capital B, capital U. You can also leave your questions, comments, queries down in the comment section below, and that will be absolutely amazing if you do. But now we're going to be talking about 2 video games which kind of have defined the video game genre, and are 2 games that without fail every single year I get. I said I play lots and lots of video games. I love all genres. If a video game suits my play style and keeps me enthralled, gets me engrossed in the game, wants me to spend time on the game and captivates me as a gamer, I'll play it. But there are 2 video game genres that I have to get every single year without fail. And although these 2 video games are completely different in their genre, they are very similar in the way that they work as a video game. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, and we're literally going to be talking about how they changed the face of gaming forever. And it also links into something that's happened this week. Well, you're going to be seeing this next week, but something that literally has happened 2 days ago that I want to talk about. And when I planned doing a video game episode, I knew I had to talk about 2 games, in general, talk about my memories of it, talk about my experience on the game, talk about their history, and talk about the future of both games and my current thoughts on them. So if you guys play these 2 games, you'll probably be able to relate to exactly what I'm saying, even if your thoughts and views are slightly different. But I want to talk about this because I feel like, I watch people such as Ali A, who is an absolutely amazing YouTuber, talk about this, and also Copper90 have done videos about this, and I've always wanted to talk about it myself and kind of create a dialogue, create a debate, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. So the 2 games that I'm going to be talking about are the Call of Duty franchise, which has been around now for 13 years, and the FIFA franchise that has been out for, it's coming up to its 20th anniversary. Actually, no, I think it is 20 years old next year. It might even be older than that. But these 2 games are completely different in their genre. One is a World War II or a war game, depends what war. It's been set in many, many different wars. And FIFA is a football game that emulates the real sport. So it kind of is a simulation of the world of football, and it has changed every single year. But every single year in the gaming industry, there is a FIFA game and there is a Call of Duty game every single year without fail. Because most games, you get, say for example, take the GTA series. That has been a hugely popular game series, but you normally tend to find that a GTA comes out every single year. Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2008. We didn't get Grand Theft Auto 5 till 2013. The Dead Space series came out every 2 years. Most video games like Forza comes out every 2 years. There are only, and I'm trying to think of other games that come out every single year, like WWE and NBA, but Call of Duty and FIFA come out every single year without fail, and I always pick up a Call of Duty game and a FIFA year every year, and I've been doing that for years, for absolute years. FIFA comes out normally in September, and Call of Duty comes out in November, and normally Call of Duty comes out the week before my birthday, which kind of works really, really well. I think I've always got Call of Duty for my birthday, and I normally buy FIFA myself when it comes out on release. I used to get it for my birthday, but then I didn't want to wait 2 months. But these games are hugely successful every single year. The FIFA community and Call of Duty community is just huge. Like, it's absolutely huge. Both of these have made, I would say, people, gamers on YouTube be as successful as they are, because the amount of people that watch Call of Duty videos is, I think, well over 10 million. People who watch FIFA YouTubers, well over 10 million. People like the Sidemen, Chris MD, YouTubers like that made their name. KSI made his name from, making FIFA videos. Ali A made his name, and he's now a professional gamer from Call of Duty. And these are just two genres and two video games that just dominate the scene every single year, like absolutely seriously. And I remember, as I said in previous episodes of the DJ Bagpuss Show, when I got into FIFA, I was about 10 or 11, and I got the PSP roughly about the same time. So that's when I played my first ever FIFA game, which was FIFA 09. I then went back and bought from FIFA 2000 to FIFA 2005. I then got FIFA 06, 7, 8 and 9 on Xbox 360. On Xbox 360 and PlayStation Portable. I also had then FIFA 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all on Xbox 360. Then I got FIFA 15 on Xbox One, FIFA 16 on Xbox One, and the current FIFA, which is FIFA 17 on Xbox One. As for Call of Duty, I remember getting Black Ops 1, which was my first ever Call of Duty game. I then went back and got myself Call of Duty Big Red 1, which was a PlayStation 2 game, and Call of Duty 3 on PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360. And then I got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, because Call of Duty has different developers every single year. So 2007 we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was on Xbox 360. 2008 we got Call of Duty World at War, which was on Xbox 360. 2009 we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox 360. 2010 we got Call of Duty Black Ops on Xbox 360. 2011 we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox 360, hence why I'm wearing this shirt as well. 2012 we got Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360. 2013 we got Ghost on Xbox 360. And that was my last Call of Duty on current gen. Then I got in 2014 Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on Xbox One, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 last in 2015 on Xbox One, and the current game, which is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered on Xbox One. And on Wednesday, Activision and Sledgehammer Games, who are the developers behind Call of Duty, have announced that Call of Duty World War II will be coming out in November 2017, and I'm absolutely so excited for it because of the success of Battlefield 1 and how amazing Battlefield has been, and we'll come on to Battlefield as well. They want to match it and make it even better. So Battlefield 1 was all about World War 1. Call of Duty is going to be all about World War 2, and multiplayer is going to take Call of Duty back to its roots, boots on the ground, that stealth, dark presence that we saw years ago, because Call of Duty has kind of gone into a futuristic utopian place, which isn't a bad thing. I kind of actually enjoy the futuristic games of Call of Duty, but now they're going back to their basics, back to their roots, and I've never seen the Call of Duty community come back and form together, as there has been a bit of a split in the fans. And so many people are hyped for it. We're getting that. We're getting a really good multiplayer by the looks of it. And we're also getting Nazi zombies, which zombies have been just a huge part of the Call of Duty history. And just, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm really, really excited. And I'm going to start by talking about Call of Duty, because Call of Duty has been that defining game. It is made, I think, over 35 million sales. So many people every single year play Call of Duty, and the first Call of Duty came out in 2003, and it was developed by a guy called Jason West and Sam Pellet, who were the co-founders of Infinity Ward. Now, Infinity Ward kind of wanted to make their own war game. They'd worked on some Medal of Honor games, which was an EA game, and they wanted to branch away from EA. They didn't want to have to rely on the decisions and what EA wanted and demanded, because EA owned Medal of Honor, and they thought to themselves, I don't want to take orders from EA anymore, so I'm going to go away, start Infinity Ward and make our own war game. The war game that they made was Call of Duty, and it came out in 2003 on PS2, the original Xbox, and also I think it came out on PlayStation Portable. But it was kind of the game that came out on PlayStation 2, and it was just before Xbox went to Xbox 360, so it was kind of the classic game, which you now can get on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. You can play the first ever Call of Duty Classic. What Infinity Ward did though really well is that they signed a deal with Activision, who own and are a shareholder in thousands of games. You know, if you pick up a game which is maybe an action game, 9 times out of 10 you'll see Activision at the bottom right, who are a shareholder in the company. And looking back, that was a really good business decision for Infinity Ward, because I don't think they estimated that the huge kind of, atmospheric success of the game. It was gargantuan. It was absolutely gigantic, the success of Call of Duty. And I think once they saw the success, they never looked back. And Infinity Ward brought Call of Duty Classic out. Then they had, when Xbox 360 launched in 2005, Call of Duty 2 was part of the launch day title that I think sold over 2 million copies on the first day alone. And for 2005, that was absolutely just a huge profit. It was one of the most successful games of all time. And because of the success of those first 2 Call of Duty games, kind of Infinity Ward thought to themselves, they were going to make another game. But then Treyarch, which are the company that also have made Call of Duty games, became a shareholder, because Call of Duty has a shareholder of Activision. Infinity Ward were the inception of Call of Duty. They worked together on the first game. Then Treyarch came in and wanted to design a Call of Duty. They got the rights and they made Call of Duty 3, which people said was the weakest Call of Duty in the COD deck. But I mean, I like it. They only had, I think, 7 months to create the game, so it wasn't actually bad for the kind of short amount of time they had to make a game. But it kind of, I think, started to cement the Call of Duty legacy. But I think what really changed and made Call of Duty the success and the blockbuster video game that it is today was when Infinity Ward brought us Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is arguably one of the greatest Call of Duties ever made. It's not my favourite Call of Duty, but it's up there, They made it, they took it to the present day. It was basically a stellar, it looked like a blockbuster action Michael Bay movie, really. And Modern Warfare kind of was the game that people stepped back and went, wow, that is an amazing Call of Duty title. And this was when the COD community first came together. This was when some people started to post stuff onto YouTube because of the multiplayer aspect, having 55 levels, 10 prestiges, hours and hours and hours after completing the campaign to play multiplayer. And that really was kind of the huge kind of defining moment, which top video games always have that defining moment, and certainly Call of Duty 4 for me was the reason why, because it was just a beloved game. They brought it back in a remastered form, but you'll never get the glory days of actually playing Call of Duty 4 when it was first out. And it kind of escalated from there. We had Call of Duty World War, which was actually a very, very good and very dark video game, the second entry by Treyarch, who introduced the Nazi zombie mode, which is just another reason why so many people play Call of Duty. We then went on to Modern Warfare 2, which kind of broke every sales record known to man. Many people argue that was the greatest Call of Duty ever made, but more importantly than that, that was when the COD community was in huge numbers. I remember watching Allier do videos. I remember starting to watch KSI play Modern Warfare 2. It was all about the sniping, the trick shots, the 1080p's. You started getting clans on YouTube, and the Call of Duty community just exploded onto scene because of Modern Warfare 2, and arguably was as good, if not even better, than Call of Duty 4. And it was at this point you get to about 2010 when Call of Duty becomes the go-to game every single year. We get Black Ops in 2010, the third entry by Treyarch, which was a really, really good game. Introduced zombies as well. My favourite game of all time is Modern Warfare 3. That game was just perfection. I remember spending hours and hours and hours, you know, back in the day playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It was kind of the game which, that year, that and FIFA were the only two games I played, period. You know, I completed the campaign, I think, in the first 2-3 days. I then spent, I think I played about 22 days in-game of multiplayer, which in itself is crazy. There was 20 prestiges. I legit, you know, without, you know, anyone modding the game, I legit got to the highest prestige. And it was the Call of Duty game that I was the greatest at. I've never been as good as Call of Duty from when I was in Modern Warfare 3. I mean, I'm still fairly decent, but I'm nowhere near as good as I was back in Modern Warfare 3 because I've just invested so much time into it. Special Ops, which we saw in Modern Warfare 2, came to Modern Warfare 3. And, you know, that was literally my favourite video game of all time. I really wish they bring back Modern Warfare 3. They've brought back Call of Duty Black Ops 1. You could play it on Xbox One. Black Ops 2 recently, which was the game after Modern Warfare 3, sorry, which you can now play on Xbox One. But Modern Warfare 3, I would easily go back to play any day, any time of the week. It's just an absolutely just amazing video game. So you have that. You then look ahead to Black Ops 2, which actually is a really, really good game. Treyarch actually make really good video games. You know, campaign, really good campaign. It starts to go into a little bit of the future, but kind of gives us an inkling of where Call of Duty was going to go next. And, you know, actually was a really, really decent game. You know, zombies, I remember doing the Easter eggs. I remember there was one Easter egg on zombies that I spent 4.5 hours trying to complete. I was really sad back in the day when it came to Call of Duty, you know. And what I really loved about the Call of Duty was just because even though it was similar every year, the story was different, the developers were different, and they kind of had their own unique stamp on the game, and you were always looking forward to the next installment. And having a yearly basis game, I think worked incredibly well. After that, we got Call of Duty Ghost, which people didn't like. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of Ghost, but I thought it was good. You know, I completed the campaign. I really enjoyed it. It was the final game that I played on Xbox 360. The multiplayer was decent. I didn't invest as much time as I did to Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, but it was still a decent game. But from that period on, when Call of Duty then went to next generation, actually Call of Duty Ghost was the first game that Infinity Ward brought to next generation. Call of Duty went to a futuristic state. So we got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is the first game by a new developer, Sledgehammer Games. They worked on the Dead Space series. They also were co-developers on Modern Warfare 3. And actually, I loved Advanced Warfare. I thought it was a really good game. Really enjoyed the multiplayer. Campaign was really good. Great performance by Kevin Spacey. And they introduced exosuits, you know, jumping, you know, zombies, exo-zombies, and it was all about that futuristic period which has kind of dominated Call of Duty for the last 3 years. And then you got Black Ops 3, which again I really enjoyed. Black Ops 3 Zombies was really good. You know, the campaign, it was the first campaign I've played which I didn't really enjoy. Black Ops 3's campaign, I thought it was quite weird, and I didn't like the kind of futuristic psychological aspect of it, you know, but it was still a really, really good game. And then, of course, now we're on to Infinite Warfare, which I think what Call of Duty, and don't get me wrong, I love both of Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. I'm not the type of person that, I don't dislike the Call of Duty series. Even though I don't play it as much as I used to, it's now, I play lots more FIFA than I do Call of Duty. And I was asked in Bagpuss Uncut episode 1, which was the drinking challenge that I did, which I'll leave a link to in the description. My mate asked me, do I prefer Call of Duty or FIFA? And at this particular moment, I prefer FIFA, but Call of Duty always is a huge love of mine. But what Infinity Ward did this year is that they brought back Modern Warfare and they remastered it, campaign remastered, 1080p HD. You could relive that amazing Hollywood blockbuster campaign. But what they kind of, I don't think worked, is that the only way you could get Modern Warfare Remastered was that you had to get Infinite Warfare. And lots of people don't enjoy Infinite Warfare. I enjoy it, Infinite Warfare. You know, it's very different to Modern Warfare Remastered because Modern Warfare is much more slower. It's set at a slower pace. You have to you can't rush in. You can kind of sit in the grass with your gun. You can pick off people left, right, and centre. It isn't that fast-paced, futuristic Call of Duty where Infinite Warfare, when you're playing online, you have to be on your toes for like every single moment. You can't mess around with it. You have to ensure that you stay, on the ground. You have to keep moving. You have to run. There's no place to hide on Infinite Warfare. And I think some people didn't like the idea that you had to buy Infinite Warfare. You were forced basically to buy Infinite Warfare to get Modern Warfare Remastered. I remember when Infinite Warfare was revealed on YouTube, it was one of the most hated videos on the internet. And to me, yeah, the futuristic, how many more years are they going to do that? But they're not bad games, the futuristic games. Some people really enjoy the boots on the ground, old style Call of Duty. But as technology's changing and as, we advance into different things, they're going to try new ways, because after a while, you're just recycling the same game over and over again. They had to take a gamble. They had to take a risk. It didn't work for some people. Some people didn't enjoy it, and it has had a little bit of a downfall. But in my eyes, as a gamer, someone who loved the old style Call of Duty, spent so many time playing Call of Duty, I don't dislike the futuristic games. That's not to say that I don't play them as much, because I don't play them as much as I used to, but I still enjoy them. If I didn't enjoy the game, I wouldn't get Call of Duty, simple as that. But as I have got it now for the last 7, 8, 9 years and played every Call of Duty game, it's just something which some people didn't like. Some people are getting fed up with futuristic, and that's why they're going back to their roots, back to World War II, where Call of Duty started. And I think it's a smart move, because I think so many people now are waiting for that moment. But I don't necessarily believe that Call of Duty has had a downfall in my eyes, even though sales and statistically it has. But I still enjoy it, even though I think going back to its roots will be the greatest thing, because I think it will just bring the entire COD community together and bring them as a force. But Call of Duty has just absolutely defined gaming and has changed the face of gaming forever. Also, another game that has done that has been the FIFA franchise, which is slightly different to Call of Duty, where it is the same game that comes out every single year. And some people say, why are you buying the same game over and over again every single year? And that's because when we're watching football, and we have football, it's a new season every single year. It's the same premise. You kick a ball, you get it into the goal, you're fighting for trophies and trying to get yourself glory, or you're trying to stay in the Premier League, or you're trying to achieve like a European position. But it's a new season. We have new players, we have new teams coming up, we have 3 teams coming up, 3 teams going down. We have brand new squad, brand new managers. It changes, it refreshes every single year. And FIFA does that. It brings out a brand new FIFA game for the brand new season. And EA, when they first made the very first FIFA game, it was an instant success, but they didn't believe in it. And what they did very cleverly was that they got the licenses, so different to Pro Evolution Soccer? Pro Evolution Soccer. What was that? Pro Evolution Soccer? What even is that? I've just made up a new game. I literally just made up a new game. Pro Evolution Soccer is what I was meant to say. And that didn't have the licenses. So yes, it was a football game, but you could only play it like London FC or a team like that. And when it came to FIFA, they got all the licenses. It was one of the first games that had an in-game soundtrack, so acts like Oasis and Blur coming onto the scene and finding their feet and launching their careers was thanks to FIFA. And every year as technology advances, as it grows, you get to a point where FIFA's just getting better and better each year. As we get to new generations, the FIFA franchise changes, and currently now FIFA 17 is the greatest FIFA game that has been out for absolutely ages, because they've changed it to Frostbite engine, so graphically it looks absolutely stunning. They do things such as squad building challenges, Foot Champions, which has been absolutely a revelation for FIFA, because Foot Champions is basically a game which you have to firstly qualify, so you're in a weekend league of the best FIFA players in the world, and you have 40 games, and you have to win as many games, and you've got 40 games to do it in over a weekend. I've done it, I think, about 5-6 times. It's stressful, it's mentally draining because of the amount of games you have to play, and you're coming up against the best of the best. You're in the best of the best category, and you have to, there are different tiers. So you've got bronze, silver, gold, elite, top 100, and professional FIFA players now thanks to champions, are playing for actual football teams. They're going to these regional events where they have the chance to win $1.3 million, and that's what gaming is now. You can win millions and millions of dollars if you're the best of the best at that game. And Foot Champions is the basis that competitive gaming is come to the forefront of FIFA. Just like Call of Duty, they have the Championship Series where you can win buckets and buckets of money, but it just keeps you on the game. And the promos this year for packs and all the stuff that people are doing in FIFA now, it's just been amazing. It's been a really, really entertaining game. I spent so much money on FIFA. I play it so much, and it really is one of those games where you even it's the same thing. It's just over and over and over again. And I remember someone said that in the next 5-10 years, a professional gamer could win Sports Personality of the Year. And the real game, you've got real footballers who play the game, before big games, or play it as a little bit of fun, as a ritual. The real sport recognises the success of the FIFA franchise and adapts to it. It's like watching a Sky Sports game playing FIFA. It gives you the full experience. You've got all your favourite teams, you've got great soundtracks, and it's just one of those, games which are just, they're so euphoric in what they do, and even though FIFA for the last couple of years has been kind of different, each different, year, you've got a new season, it literally has been a stalemate on both of them. So EA recognised and they needed a brand new reinvention. They had to do something like that, and I think they've done that in abundance because of the fact of that they now realise that this is what they've got to do. They've got to introduce competitive gaming, and they've got to be able to understand that we want to see something new. We want to have something that keeps us on the game, because for the last couple of years I've got to kind of the summertime of FIFA. I've been playing it 8-9 months, and I just stopped playing it because there's nothing to do. Where this year it's completely different now. People are now kind of staying on it because of Foot Champions, because of the packs, the amount of promos that EA are doing. You've got career mode, pro clubs where you can play with your friends, career mode where I'm now the Arsenal manager and I win everything, because it's not the most realistic game with Arsenal not winning anything whatsoever. But I think FIFA now, the more new consoles we get and the more the technology advances, the future of both Call of Duty and FIFA will just get better and better and better. And I think also now both of them have defined my gaming career, because I get them every single year and I play them every single year. So it's like, for me, I know it's part of my gaming DNA playing both of these games. And at the minute, I do prefer FIFA. It's only the reason that is because I just play more of it. But I think Call of Duty is still up there, and I think World War II, if World War II beats the pants off FIFA 18, then I'll be playing that more. I love both of them. It used to be I preferred Call of Duty over FIFA, and now I prefer FIFA over Call of Duty, even though both of the genres are literally the same as well. And both of these games just, define genres. Action games, Call of Duty's at the forefront. Sports games, FIFA's at the forefront in terms of the profit it makes, the revenue it brings in. It's defining. It's been around now for decades, 2 decades. COD's been around for about 10 years. FIFA's been around for 20 years, and it's not going away anytime soon. And I think the future of them, looking ahead to them, it's only going to get better and better and better. So that's really it. That is how Call of Duty and FIFA defined the gaming genre, defined the gaming industry, how they changed gaming forever, my thoughts on both of them. And if you are a fan of football, play FIFA. Even though Pro Evolution Soccer and Battlefield are changing the scene, because Battlefield recently has overtaken Call of Duty in terms of its graphics, in terms of its community, and there's lots of people that prefer Pro Evolution Soccer over FIFA, but I think FIFA and Call of Duty will always be at the forefront of both of those. But it'd be interesting to see in the future if Pro Evolution Soccer and Battlefield keep up to how FIFA and Call of Duty are changing. And they are changing the genres, both of them, but Call of Duty and FIFA have always been the forefront of both of those genres, and I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. 30 minutes talking about that, which I said I wanted to talk about in detail, and I certainly have done that. But let's get on to the final part of today's episode, where we're going to be talking about Q&A with the DJ, and we're going to be having a very special quiz. So join me and come find out what that quiz is. Come and join me as we have a very special Q&A with the DJ. Let's go.